Hey math kids, today we're going to talk about Venn diagrams. We're in chapter 2, section F, and we're going to do some prerequisite stuff as well as go over example 6. So the first thing I want to show you is just a basic Venn diagram. So we have our universal set, which is the outside, and then we have our set, which is A, and then we have anything that doesn't fall into A, which we call the complement. So this is just a basic idea of a Venn diagram. So everything out here that's not inside of the circle that we call A is the complement of A. Okay? Now we're going to move on to the concept of subset. So if we have a situation like this, where we're going to call this B, and we'll call this A, the entire circle is A. So I'll write that a little bit different. I'll write it next to it like that. And then we still have our universal set. And if we say B is a subset of A, it's this situation where B is entirely contained inside of A. There are no pieces of B that are on the outside of A, and that's the idea of a subset. Okay. Now, this is probably the most common way you've seen a Venn diagram is when we have two sets that intersect. So we have set A, set B, and then this section right here is called the intersection. So it's A intersect B. Okay. If we have two intersecting sets, we can also talk about the union. So we can have A union B. Once again, this is A, this is B, and their union would be everything in A, their intersection, and everything in B. I know that's kind of hard to see. In the book, it looks a little more clear, so if you need to look at that. And then the last thing is two disjoint sets, or mutually exclusive. So this is when we have A and B, they have no intersection, and so we say the intersection of A and B is the empty set, which is that symbol right there. All of these, we have the universal set, which is represented by the rectangle on the outside. Okay, so that's just some prerequisite stuff. And then we'll move on to example 6. And so they give us a universal set that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it says illustrate on a Venn diagram the sets. So they give us part A, we're going to say A is equal to 1, 3, 6, 8. And B is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Okay. So we're going to do a Venn diagram for this. Okay, we're going to call this A, call this B. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to know what they have in common. So the things they have in common are 3 and 8. So we're going to write both of those in their intersection. So 3 and 8 go right there. Now the numbers right here, everything in A that we haven't already used, we write in this section. So 1 and 6. And let's see, let's get this color. Set B, the numbers we haven't used are 2, 4, and 5. And then we have to look at the universal set and see any numbers we haven't used yet. We used 1, we used 2, we used 3, we used 4, 5, 6. There's no 7. And 8. Okay, so 7 is the only one we haven't used. And we mark our U out there. So we want to make sure all the numbers are used that show up in the universal set somewhere on the Venn diagram, and hopefully that made sense. Now we're going to try part B. So I'm going to write my U out again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the new ones that we need to look at are A and B. So it's 1, 3, 6, 7, 8. And 3, 6, 8. Okay. So we have our universal set. We have set A, set B. And we want to find what they have in common. So they both have 3s, they both have 6s, and they both have 8s. Now this is actually a special case because all of B is found in A. I'm actually going to redraw my Venn diagram. So A, B, because it's going to be a subset. So A, B. So everything that's found in B is also found in A. So I'm going to say 3, 6, 8. And then I'm going to write the 1 and the 7, which are still in A but not in B. So those are within the circle of A. And now we need to check to see what didn't show up in any of them. So 1, we didn't use 2. 3, we didn't use 4. We didn't use 5. We got 6, 7, 8. So those 3 numbers need to show up just on the outside right here, just anywhere, like that. Okay. Now we have one more. So I'm going to write that universal set one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're given a different A and B on this one. So 2, 4, 8. And 1, 3, 5. So the first thing we want to do is mark what they have in common. And you should notice that they have nothing in common. So when we do our universal set, we have 2 sets that have nothing in common. So they're disjoint or mutually exclusive. So if I write everything that's in A, I get 2, 4, 8. And then if I write everything that's in B, I get 1, 3, 5. And then we need to see what we've used. So we used 1, we used 2, we used 3, we used 4, we used 5, but we didn't use 6, 7, just 6 and 7. So we can place them anywhere in U that's not inside A or B for those last ones. Alright, that's everything for this video. If you need additional help, come to Math Lab and calculator.